Hello everybody, and welcome to this quick exercise in which we will turn a boring cube into a quite interesting piece of furniture, like this. What's going to be interesting in this exercise is how we are going to start developing everything out of a very simplistic set of sketches. You see the front view, the leg, and maybe a top view. And then we will build all the individual elements and then create, as you can see, components. So when we add a material to one component, you see all component elements, which will be reused, will actually get the same material. It's a very good application here to understand and learn about how components work. There's obviously a lot more to it, so let's do it. So we will start with a new scene. First, right-click on the root and turn off the design history. And then we will switch the unit system to inches. Let's go to the front view. Very nice. Go to create sketch on this front plane and go to rectangle, center rectangle. I can click somewhere and just drag this out. And then I type in 16, tab 16, enter. We have to zoom out a little bit more. Then this midpoint, I move a little bit up and move this somewhat over the y-axis. And then I click vertical constraint and align this. There, perfect, cool. I know already where the top edge would be height-wise, so I will continue by giving this edge to this ground here a dimension. And that should be 30 inches. Because now we can also read out what's now the height between the bottom edge and the ground. So that's 14 as a readout. Again, as a demonstration, when we change this number, which is the driving constraint, the driven constraint will update. Cool. Okay. So that's good. Now, in the next step, what we're going to do is a very basic offset. So offset command of this rectangle to the inside. If we would buy the wood from a supplier, it comes in predefined dimensions. For example, 0.75 inches. So 3/4 of an inch. Cool. Now this is a big combined area. If we would build this in the woodshop, this would be left, right, top, and bottom piece. So we need to miter this. Okay, so let's actually draw in with the line tool the edges. Now we have top, right, and bottom, and left. Pretty cool. Sweet. Okay, so we can continue sketching a little bit more. We would like to also have a shelf at the center, perfectly at the center. And I like to solve this simply via geometry. So what I will do is, here's the line tool. This is the center point. You see we have these diagonals. Here's also the midpoint. So maybe from this midpoint to the center point, I draw a line. And then somewhere here, I draw a line. Make sure it is perpendicular. And in case it is not, now we have to make sure that it is horizontal constraint. This was a white point. That was not good. Let's bring this back. No white point. This is better. So this whole thing here should be 0.75 of an inch. 3/4. And now how do we make this centered? There are various ways to do this. We can actually do the following little trick. So here I draw a line straight up, and here I draw a line straight down. I move this a little bit further up. This line and this line should be construction. So I click on construction. And now here comes the trick. These two lines should be the same. So I give this an equal constraint. Zack. So The distance is defined to be 3/4. Both lines have to be equal. That basically means this point is always at the center. Problem solved. Now, if we set this to 2 or 1, you see this perfectly scales up and down in a very symmetrical way. Think about everything what we do here right now is we have a piece of paper and we're sketching the layout out. So in terms of furniture design, we know here we have miter edges, okay, and then we have this shelf. Well, because of gravity, it would simply fall down. Plop. Not very good. So it is not a question. We could go ahead and draw how far this should cut in to visualize this. Now we could do this, or we solve this via 3D modeling later. I always try to keep my sketches as brutally simple as possible. Not to be lazy, but simply to make work easier. With this done so far, cool. Okay, let's leave the sketch mode. We can go to Extrude. I select the left and the right, and then we will extrude this symmetrical. Total distance of 16 inches. So this basically extrudes it both directions to a total of 16, 8 inch each side. Cool. Let's do this again. Here and here. Same thing. There and 16. We have now to set this to a new body to make sure it doesn't get fused together. Pay attention to here. There are no edges. It's fused together. Now we have edges. Cool. We have this piece. Okay. Well, let's also extrude this one. We don't know yet how things will look like. That's actually the really great aspect of this exercise, to show how we can use direct modeling to block out an idea and then step by step, put in all the details. Cool. I have here mitered edges. From the top, this is nice and flush, but I would like this face, for example, to rotate in a little bit. So I can go to here, face, rotate this, there. Now I can click on this and rotate this 45 degree. Yeah, 45 degree is kind of good. If we go 45 degree, then we don't necessarily need to rotate each face individually. We can simply go to Chamfer and say this edge, this edge, this edge, and this edge. Shift and left mouse button, click. Now this is 0.75 inches material thickness, which means that chamfer has to be exactly the same. So 0.75. Then it really goes to the end. Now we can make this a tick more visually pleasing. What about we go 0.5? You see now then we have a little bit of a gap here. Yeah, that actually looks nice. Keep in mind, if we would cut this perfectly, we would have a very fragile edge. This way, we don't. Cool. Yeah. There. So we kind of like trimmed everything off. This is kind of like we took this piece of lumber and ran it across a router. Now this edge is actually too far. We can go to the move command and say face, point to point, and say this face, please move this edge there to, I need to find a good snapping point here, this corner. And it just moves it along the distance. It doesn't move it to that corner. Yeah, pretty cool, huh? Yeah, I think so too. Since we are working on this piece, we can now think about, well, how is this later going to get into there? And we need to have a groove inside here and there. So what's the easiest way to build this? I will select this body, right click and say isolate. This is left and right edge, no? Keep that in mind. So what I will do is I'm going to do the following. This piece, you see the arrow is to the left. So I have to type in now -2 inches. So I'm bringing this in by 2 inches. Then this and this, I will expand by, the sides are 3/4 of an inch. Do we bring this in 1/4 of an inch, 1/2 of an inch? Let's say 1/4 of an inch, 1/2 of an inch sounds better. That's nice and stable. Cool. Okay. Now, there we can see this. Okay. So, and from here now, I would like to extend this a tip forward. So, I undo everything and undo one more time till, the sides are short again, because I made a little bit of a mistake. Not necessarily a mistake, it's just the sequence was wrong. So what I will do now is I go to Extrude, select the front. I remember this was 2 inches. So extrude the front face by 2 inches, but as a new body. You see now here I have still this edge, and now I can go ahead and just extend this, and then these 2 pieces I join together. Keep tools off. Yeah, look at this. So if we now turn on all the pieces and go to the back, there you can see now how this intersects. Yeah, so U minus this one, keep the tool, right click, repeat U minus this one. Cool. Side this. There, perfect. So that means when we assemble everything from the back, we can move this board in. Now the back is open. I would like that to close. Okay. Select all those, right click, show height, or press the V button. I will turn on the sketch. Here we are. So then U, and U. Extrude by... The back is not very structurally important, so 0.25 of an inch. It can be thin. The sides have to be nice and thick. Very good. So let's turn all this back on. This can go, and then this one here. So this body, so this one move kind of like this corner to there. And in case this doesn't work, we can also go body U here, just move this away. So, and now it might be easier to select everything. Body, point to point, and then we say this corner point to this corner point. Very nice. Cool. Okay. This piece now, I will isolate one more time. And I will actually give this another 1/4 inch material. So this is now 1/2 of an inch, as you can see in the lower button. Then go to expand. And we select all these edges, 0.5 of an inch. We expand it. So it's bigger. Then we can show everything. And there you can see how it overlaps. And you pretty much guessed it. There's going to be an exercise of cutting all these individual objects. The nice thing of this demo is also, again, it shows you how, repetitive tasks are. 3D modeling is really not that complicated. You just need to be able to see geometrical building blocks. And then now how with these basic tools we have, we can build it. But I would say that actually the main box is done. This is actually pretty good. Where's the top? No, this is not the top. There, this is the top. Yeah, look at this. This looks beautiful. Pretty cool. And here we have the piece sitting in. So all this is done just by a very simplistic set of sketches and not a labor-intensive exercise in how to sketch everything. Cool. I will create a new folder for the moment and put all this into this group. So when needed, I can turn this group on and off. Also here, right-click, dissolve. This all can go. Because now it's time to actually work on the legs. So right-click, edit the sketch. And I will draw here a line, a line, a line, and a line. A little bit crazy on purpose, just to show you again what I'm going to do with the constraints. Parallel everything, corner point to corner point should be vertically aligned. Then I press D for dimension, and then say here, this should be 3 inches apart. And I would like to have a line here at the center. Perpendicular. So this to here is, yeah, 90 degrees. Very good. So, yeah, how do we continue? I will do the following. I will draw here somewhere. Actually, I will draw a line here at this point. Go down, and now I need here to figure out where does it show that it's perpendicular. There it is. And if you don't see it, we can also simply go perpendicular and say U to U perpendicular. Now I have a midpoint and another midpoint. This line I can select, press X or construction. This was just kind of like a helper. Here is the profile of my leg. And then this point I will make horizontal to here. And you see how this pushes this down. Pretty cool. Okay, very nice. Yeah. So I can now, for example, I have an idea. Does this look good? No? So if I, let's say, make this 20. Hold on. Maybe we have to do a dimension first. Yeah, so D and then say U to U. That actually should be 1.25 of an inch. Yeah, okay, good. Now everything is black, so this works. Okay, so now with 20 inches, we have kind of like a funny set of legs. So with 30, yeah, that doesn't look too bad. We can, for a moment, if we want to, just add a leg to get a feeling of, oh, does this look good? Yeah. But this leg is actually at the front. We want this to be angled. So this is not really what we are going to do. But this is kind of like a front view sketch. On paper, I do this sketch. And again, with this exercise, I try to show you how I sketch on paper is also how I sketch in CAD. I take a lot of, I don't want to say shortcuts, but I work smart. I work smart pen and paper, and I work smart in CAD. Because CAD is nothing else than hand drawing. I just use a mouse and a keyboard. Some people say CAD is very slow. I disagree, because hand drawing can also be very slow. It's a matter of how you use it. So a new sketch on the ground plane. Center rectangle. From the center, 16, tab 16, enter. That's all we need. Because this way now I have a nice diagonal line. On this line, we can create a construction plane. 90 degree for plane at an angle. Here, the next thing that's going to be interesting. We will create a sketch on this plane. And then I need to have reference points. So where does this plane plane or sketch we created intersect with the ground sketch? Here, there it does. And where does this maybe intersect with the geometry here? Oh, look at there at the edge point, and here I have a line. Now let's use the line or the point, doesn't matter. Now, there you see. This we can all now turn off. Cool. Technically speaking, this ground sketch we have here in this construction plane, we don't need anymore. So I actually can delete those. They're not necessary. Right click, go back to the sketch. You see again where we are. So I can draw now here a line. There we are. I draw another line perpendicular. I go up. There. Actually, undo this. We do this one more time. Go to here and go up. And then go to here. Very good. So, because what we're going to do, this point is projected, so I can't move this. This point to here, we add a dimension of 3 inches. And then the dimension here, that is 1.25 divided by 2, because this is the radius. This is half of the leg. We need to make sure this is perpendicular. It is, that is here all perpendicular. That is, this is now the end, so the midpoint. This midpoint, if we want, we can make sure to be horizontally aligned. And here, yeah, how do we do this one? I will simply, yeah, I will do it this way. So this point coincident to there. So we just glue it, pin it to there. Cool. So there's our leg. This leg now, I will, with the revolve command, so select the profile, select the axis, do my leg. So 1.25 for the diameter. Yeah, this is perfect. This is really good. That's exactly what I want. Cool. Okay. It makes also sense to always work on the easiest part, and then we do the more complicated parts. So now we work on this one first. So this edge, let's see, 0.25. How does this look? Okay, that's quite nice. So we rounded this one, but obviously we can see that, well, this goes through the ground. So check this out. I go push and pull, and this face I pull up. And yeah, we're going to eyeball this a little bit. We can zoom in a tick there. We're working here with wood, so this is not rocket science. So we can, in this case, work a little bit eyeballed, but controlled. Sometimes this eyeballing is considered being like inaccurate. It can be inaccurate, but I just really use tools to line up everything. So I would like to trim this bottom part off into its own piece. So I need kind of like a knife to cut along there. And I can do this via the offset plane. I select this bottom face and offset this up. What about 0.5? Now we can rotate. This is kind of like a big piece. Minus 0.3. Volume-wise, that seems good. Then split body. This body split by this plane. Thank you. There we are. Let's dissolve those. Yeah, now there we have the bottom part, kind of like a glider and the wooden leg. Now this wooden leg should actually connect into a 3D printed socket. So this whole thing here, I would like to, how do we do this? I will do the following. I will move this face up actually a little bit because I would like to know where is this leg touching the wooden surface. And there you can see that. Okay, good. So what I will do now is I will go combine and say from the leg, remove please the lower part. And you see how the leg is then being trimmed flat. There now. So what we can do now is we have this disk and we can create a sketch on it and expand it. Alternatively, for those who would be interested, we could also take this line, connect it or extend it to there, and then try to there, create a new sketch and do a circle. Works too, but I find working with the geometry here is simply easier. So create sketch on this face. Look, there we also have a circle. I mean, this is not really a circle, it's more an ellipse, but we have a center point. So there, we make a circle, 3 inches. Very nice. So this is actually good. We can hide this piece right now. Then, yeah, I actually need to throw this piece away. This is actually right now garbage. But what I can do now is, check this out. So this is, this is flat. And this I can extrude myself a new leg out. In a moment you will understand also why and what I'm doing here. So I will bring this kind of like till there. Okay, now and then to make this into an original position. So this face, please, here, maybe this edge to there, this point there. So we rebuilt basically this leg, but with this face being angled. Then now I would like to bring -3 inches down. Okay, here comes now the fun part. We have this circle and we have this face, and I would like to create a lofted, a blended surface between. Loft, blend, skin. A lot of programs call it differently. It's all the same. There we are. The 2 profiles I had here and then profile 2 here. And for 2, I would like this to be G1, so tangent. Now there you can see how this, instead of being stupidly linear, it flows nicely. With G2, it's even a nicer flow. Yeah, maybe G2 is actually pretty cool. And we do not want this to be joined, so we make this as a new body. Cool. Okay. Yeah, look at this now. Pretty cool. Now we can continue thinking about how do we prototype this? How do we attach the bottom part to the leg and the top part to the leg? And then the joint to the base. For the sake of this exercise, also the time we only have, we're going to do this in a rather very quick way. So this is a disk. Cool, easy. We can simply do the following. Here I will do a little trick. So I will extend this one out by 1 inch, but as a new body. Now, and then this face I will make shorter. That should just be a 1/4 inch cylinder. So you see, because this was a round disc, I can extrude a cylinder and then I shrink the cylinder and then U to U join together, boom, done. We can do the same here. So 1 inch and as a new piece, very good. 2 inches. That's 21. 1 inch is fine. And then here we do the same. Select the outer face, change it to 0.25, and then we join this together. Awesome sauce. Okay, so that worked actually really good. Now up here, this is where we might need to have a little bit of, how could I say that? Some sketches. So right click, edit the sketch. We're in the top view. And I start drawing from the center point aligned to there, and a center point aligned to there, and then from there to the center of my world. Escape. And look at this. Now parallel, parallel, and parallel. You see they're all in a line, and I look at the center. By the way, that's the center right under the box. Again, that's also why I work so much in a symmetrical way. The reason why I created the lines is the lines have midpoints. Circle, there's the midpoint, 0.25. And circle, there is the midpoint. If we don't see it, there, 0.25. Can we select delete this? Yeah, deleted this. Then the rest is moving. Lock this. Yeah, this was a projection. So, I keep this one there. Anyway. Extrude. So and we have to be careful now. There might be some fragments. We don't necessarily see this really well. So it's an interface issue, but we know this is the circle from the initial lag. And now this whole thing we bring up. Question is by how much? 0.75 is the thickness of the board. 0.5. That's good. Then we have 1/4 of an inch material left. Yep, this is joined. There. You can turn this off. Pretty cool. Yeah. So here is actually now the next interesting step, what we're going to do. This wall here, so this one, I'm going to delete. And it's okay. Don't freak out. I will make sense in a moment. Now I select all bodies with Shift, right click and say make a component. Same here. Make a component. Very good. This group we can delete now. And there's now content in it. And then let's name these components. This is side. This is bottom. This is center. Back. Top. Let's say lag tube. Lag connection. And lag tip. We do another thing. Right click and say new component. We just call this one lag. This you see is empty. And I select these 3 and drag that into there. Look at this. We have an assembly. So the assembly lag has these 3 components in it. There's also this dot. When you click on each dot, you're isolating each component. It's quite cool actually when you work on nested complex designs. What do we do with this one here? So we go to the side. There we are. Cool. And we go move, make a copy of this component. Wait, hold on, one more time. As a copy, zip, didn't. Okay, that's a irritating thing. First the command and now click copy, otherwise copy gets overwritten. and then we can rotate this one. I rotate this because honestly, top and bottom is actually really the same. Click OK. Very good. And now I would like this to go back. It's an easy way. Align. So component, this edge to this edge. Not what I want. There. That's what I want. Pretty cool. Okay. What do we do with the legs? That's actually pretty easy. So you also see side 1 and side 2. I will go and manipulate this one, and you see how the other component moves with it. So side 1, 2, copy 1, copy 2. That's the number behind it. Let's go to the legs. We can make copies and rotate them, or we can simply go pattern, circular pattern, and then say circular pattern of this assembly, yeah, along this axis, but 4 pieces. Thank you. And there you see like it says leg 1, copy 2, copy 3, copy 4. Or it's not really copy, it's clone. Like in Star Wars. Cool. Nearly done. To finish everything, that's the reason why we did not make a copy or a clone of the bottom to move this to the top. We need to go combine, and from this we remove this and this and this and this. I click on those where they are, and you see now it shows you the cutouts now with these dots, etc. And keep tools because I want not to throw these sockets away. Okay. There, you see? There are the holes. Isn't that fantastic? Yeah. 2 holes, as you can see, is very easy to give this a direction to rotate the leg. Simple design, not complicated. We could also from the top put some screws down. This, however, is a very beginner level furniture piece, so we don't want to overcomplicate things. And the video shouldn't be 3 hours long. To bring this now to an end, since we have a really nice and good piece, let's press A for the word I can't say, or we just go modify and click on it. And we have body and faces. I will scroll down and give everything, kind of like the oak material. Click, click, click. And on the wooden legs. Oh, look, see, I only needed 1 leg and it did it for me already. Pretty cool. Look at this also, the tubes, the material is oriented along it. Fantastic. Then I scroll up to where I have plastic, opaque. And now I go to drag this onto this body and this body. There we are. And then I switch this to face. And there you see I'm just dragging this onto the top faces. So simulating kind of like a treatment of that on the outside. There is some sort of a veneer. Another interesting interface issue. Let's click on close or escape, press A, and then, face, we can overwrite this. So I gave everything this material, the wood one first, so that and then afterwards I can go ahead and overwrite it. I could also have given everything the white material and then just give these front pieces the wood material. Doesn't really matter which way we do it. But you have to give one body a material first. So for example, I could also have said like white material for this piece, face, wood material onto the front face. Nope, actually not with 3D materials. That's okay. I won't be defeated. There. Where there is a will, there is a way. Cool. Nearly done. What's wrong? Well, this wood veneer is good. This is good. Yeah, the rest is kind of garbage. So I select this one, right click and say texture map control. Welcome to UV unwrapping. And since we're working here with boxes, this is going to be super easy. So this is not the rotation I need. What about this one? Yeah, there we are. Okay. So click OK. So when I select this one, right click, texture map control. Yeah, this is good. Now there you can see the center of the wood. So we want this wood to be cut like the trees looking this way instead of this way. So we have to rotate it. That's all we are doing. And one more time, texture map control, which is why when this should be there, I have to rotate it this way, 90 degrees. Yeah, awesome. Let's hide this one. I was just curious. Yeah. No, this is correct actually. Yeah, this is totally correct, because if we go in and take a look, then there we can see how the wood grain all goes up and down. Yeah, this is perfect. Let's go back, show this one. Yeah, and we built actually a pretty cool furniture piece that's very plausible. Also in its construction, we have components and we have 2D and 3D materials applied. And as you see, the direct modeling mode in Fusion is actually pretty awesome. To bring this to an end, I would like to go back one more time about the benefit of the components and where they are very useful for. So logically, we have the same components. When I modify one component, the other component is updated. True. There's, however, another component. Or aspect for why components are good. Save your design. That's important first. And then we go and create a new drawing from design. We can say full assembly in this case. That's perfectly fine. The rest don't really care about it. Welcome to AutoCAD running in Fusion. We can create now a drawing. We can set the scale. I think 1 to 5 here will work fine. Yeah, so the front view is good. Click OK. There's a drawing. Let's add a projected view of this to the side. Maybe there. Okay. This, I would like to maybe move a little bit backwards to there. Cool. Can we do a section view? Let's see. So from maybe this midpoint to midpoint. Okay. And there actually creates a section view through this part. So that's kind of silly. So let's do this one more time. So section view. Where's the midpoint? So there you see, I go a little bit higher up and then I go straight down. Okay. Click OK, bring this over, clock, okay. Now there's my section view of the piece. And here it says section AA. Unfortunately, this overlaps here. That's not necessarily very good. We could maybe move everything over a little bit. So move this one, transform. Yeah, move this over. Very good. And then this one here, I will go move. click and drag. Wah, wah, there. And then this one, I'm gonna click and drag there. Very good. The drawing module sometimes is a little bit glitchy, I find, but as you see, you will get a hang of it really fast. So for everybody who is familiar with AutoCAD, this is just really kind of like what's running in the background, if you want to see it this way. Now we have our different views. We can move these views. We have geometry elements. Oh, dimensions. Oh, how high is this? Oh, what's the side here? There, no, height and width. What is the inner distance? Oh, look at that. We can literally really dimension everything. We're not going to create a complete construction drawing here, but I wanted to just to show you how easy it is to create actually technical drawings based on our geometry we created in Fusion when there are components. And this is something we can export as a PDF, etc. Okay, that's it.